Hello friends, welcome back. Previously we have seen different aspects of development as well as we have seen how to compare different countries. Different factors here, different indicators to compare different countries. But ultimately this development cost environment because development utilize different resources, mainly natural resources, and we know we have limited natural resources. And resources we categorize them into two categories: renewable and non-renewable. Renewable resources like groundwater, for an example. Yes, somehow that we can say groundwater can be replenished naturally by itself, but when? Only if we give enough time to restore it. But we know due to industrialization and rapid urbanization, as well as due to modern means of agriculture, that groundwater depletion faster than before, because level day by day decreases because we overutilize them. We don't give enough time to replenish it naturally. So let's see that sustainable development today. Similar example about non-renewable resources, which is crucial resource for us, crude oil. So here crude oil reserves, main resources of crude oil like Middle East, USA and rest of the world. So in 2017, 808,000 million barrels reserved. In the year 2017, 808,000 million barrels reserved only in Middle East. And in USA, 50,000 million barrels, and in the rest of the world 1697,000 million barrels, 1000 million barrels. So which can long last up to 70 years if we utilize it in the present consumption rate, long last up to 70 years. Middle East reserve long last up to 70 years, and United States of America's reserve 10.5 years only, and the rest of the world reserve that will long last up to 50.2 years if we continue consume in the same consumption rate. So that is a question for us. What about the future generation? Because development is not about that today we utilize and today we enjoy that higher standard of living. No, it's not like that. Because in development we also consider that even developed country, they also want to become more and more developed, and at least they want to continue their development rate for the future generation. But that may possible only and only if we have natural resources, adequate natural resources. But there is a question mark, as we can understand by this example. So we have only way, that is sustainability of development, we call it sustainable development. That means development without compromising the needs of future generation. So we develop economy in that way, so without harming the environment and without damaging the needs of future generation. So we have to keep in mind about future generation, not about now, because actually this resources we haven't got from our forefathers, but actually we have borrowed them from our future generation. So it's our responsibility to keep them for our future generation. So this principle adopted by many of the philosophers, social scientists and scientists, that is sustainability of development. That means continuous development, means no compromisation with development. We have to continue that development, as well as we try to improve the development rate, but without harming that resources and environment. That means conservation of resources. Conservation of resources. Resources are two types, as we have seen: renewable and non-renewable. So we have to use renewable resources respectfully, such as groundwater. And non-renewable resources, we cannot reproduce them, because those are basically take millions of years, like crude oil, coal, and many minerals, different types of minerals. Such kind of resources take millions of years to replenish. So it's not possible within short period of time we reproduce them. That's not possible. So here, recycle and conservation of resources is production of resources. So here, second, conservation of resources. Third, conservation of environment. Because of blind run towards development, that human forgot this environment, and we are harming nowadays too. We are harming very badly environment in the different way, knowingly, unknowingly. So it is necessary to conserve the environment, because we are dependent on the environment, and Earth is our home, and we don't have any other home. So let's see further. Here, 3R, concept of 3R, that means reduce, reuse, and recycle. So how can we conserve resources? So better, we have to use it in the most efficient way. That means reduce. But sometimes reduction is not enough. But yes, we can use it in the respectful way. That means efficient use. Like for me personally, it's not possible to travel somewhere else, or commute every day from my home to school or elsewhere at my workplace without my personal vehicle. So it's a bit complicated and difficult for me. So there is a way I can use my vehicle in the best possible way, like I can use that hybrid vehicle. Uh, I have to maintain my vehicle so I can get that maximum fuel efficiency. That means reduce. When we don't need that electricity, so unnecessary, we have to stop use of it. That's it. That is reduce. Second, reuse. That means if we can that reuse the resources, that is the best way. And the third way, that is recycle. Many of the minerals can be recycled, like aluminum, iron can be recycled. So this 3R concept may help us to conserve natural resources. New oil field, finding fresh reserves for it, but if available, there is a question mark. We can find the new fields of like mineral oil as well as coal and minerals, but only if available. But due to this technology, today's technology, uh, we are trying to find new reserves, but unfortunately, it's not possible because there are limited stock, limited reserves only. So we have to use that alternative resources like car. Nowadays, that many experiments are ongoing, like water-powered car, hydrogen fuel cell car, and nowadays electric car already entered in the market. So those are the alternative way. So we can utilize such resources in an alternative way. Mm. And sustainability of development is a global concern. It's not about that this sustainability of development and related issues like resources and environmental issues are limited to our city or village or our country. No, it's not like that. But actually, this concern is a global concern. So different countries are trying to join their hands together for sustainable development, because only this concept can lead us for the better future, for the bright future. So this is all about development. In next video we'll discuss what we have learned earlier. Thank you so much. Stay tuned.